Here we're going to think through some theory questions. So when will a new car need its first MOT? Okay, so the answer is 3 years, but it's very easy to fall down a hole here and make the wrong decision, because after 3 years it's every 1 year. So potentially, if you know that someone in your family has their car MOT'd every year, you could go for that answer, but it is actually 3 years. So who is responsible for paying the vehicle's tax? Here I've put down the right answer, the registered keeper of the vehicle. But it's easy to fall into a trap here, because you might just think it's the driver, but it's not always the driver who owns the vehicle. Sometimes you hear that the car dealer sorts out the tax when you buy it through the new regulations, but it's not the car dealer, and the driver and vehicle licenses are actually the people that do the administration on it. So it's always the registered keeper. Okay, so this is an interesting one. You've just passed your practical test and you get 6 penalty points on your license in the first 2 years. Well, this is to do with the new Drivers Act, and if you do get 6 penalty points, then you will have to reapply for your license and take both your theory and practical test again. But if you look at these answers, you've got retake only your theory, well, so we can knock that one out. Reapply for your full license immediately, well, yes, you do have to, but it's not your full license, it will be a provisional, so it's very easy to fall into that trap there. Retake your practical test, okay, we can knock that one out. So it's retake your theory and practical test. So it's just a little bit of a wordplay there. Reapply for your full license. Well, no, it's provisional, you would have to reapply for. So the nearest answer to that is going to be retake your theory and practical test. So another interesting one, driving in the right hand lane of a dual carriageway, what should you do if you see this sign showing the right hand lane is closed? Okay, so immediately your eyes might be drawn to the move to the left immediately, because we have got to move to the left, but it's the immediately. Okay, so we'll keep that, think about that one. Keeping that lane until you reach the queue, well, that's probably not going to be such a good idea. Move to the left in good time, so that's another move to the left, so we'll keep that. Wait to see which lane is moving faster. So on this one we can kind of knock that one out. So it's the two lefts, and if you break them down immediately, well, if you do something immediately, maybe you're not doing the right checks, the correct checks. So it's moving to the left lane in good time. You have got 800 yards, so that would be a mirror check, signal if necessary, and then get into the left lane. Okay, so this question here, how does smart motorway prevent traffic bunching? Well, traffic bunching is when a motorway is running smoothly and suddenly vehicles slow down for what seems to be no reason. So, for example, if they know, the authorities know there's a traffic situation in front, what they can do is slow the vehicles at quite a distance, maybe 5-10 miles away, down to a lower speed, maybe 60 or 50. So this means that less vehicles are approaching the incident, so that will prevent bunching. So it's variable speed limits. That means they can change the speed limits from a central base. Okay, so this one, how can you reduce environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? Well, first of all, if you don't drive it, i.e. you walk or you cycle, that's going to be the #1 answer, but that's not here. So what we do, we look down them, drive faster than normal. Well, if you drive faster, that will normally, well, actually that will always use more fuel. Keep the engine revs low. Well, we know that's the correct answer, but we'll just go through the rest. Only use it for short journeys. Again, maybe using it for short journeys is when the vehicle's cold, so it might be less efficient. And don't service it. Well, the don't service it can actually cause more issues by there'll be a build-up of carbon on the engine. It won't run as efficiently. So it's going to be keep the engine revs low. But if the answer is anything about cycling or walking, that will always be the correct answer. So this is a different way of looking at theory questions, because we're actually talking you through how to do it, what to look for, what are the traps. I really hope it helps you guys. Thank you.